Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about NITI Aayog's mega city plan for Little Andaman. So, NITI Aayog has recently proposed a plan where they want to redevelop the whole Little Andaman under their paper of sustainable development. So, this has a paper sort of a thing which has been proposed by the NITI Aayog. Now the problem is that there are a lot of conservationists, the environmentalists who are citing concern with this kind of proposal. So in this particular video, what we are going to read, we are first of all going to know the geographical location of Little Andaman. We will get to know a little bit about the Little Andaman. Then we will go ahead and see what that proposal is all about. What is the problems associated with the project itself to go around, and what is the criticism for this plan. So these are all the major outlines that we will cover in this video. So let's start. So Little Andaman, if you look at over here, so this is the location, this is where your Little Andaman is located in the Andaman Nicobar Island group. So if you see over here from the North Andaman, there is this Saddle Peak. Again, this is an important national park. Go ahead and check it out in your atlas. Then there is a Middle Andaman, and finally here you see Little Andaman, which is closer to the Port Blair, which is the capital city of Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar. So it is the fourth largest of the Andaman Islands of India, lying at the southern of the archipelago to the south of Port Blair. So just remember, it lies south to the Port Blair. The low-lying island has widespread rainforest and several rare species of marine turtle. Now there is a rainforest which is like the evergreen rainforest which is present in the near the equatorial area. So over here in Andaman Nicobar also, Little Andaman, you can find the rainforest type of vegetation. And now these are also very much associated with the rare species of marine turtle. So very recently, the Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, he introduced a national marine action plan. So basically in that he specifically talk about the national marine turtle action plan, that how we could conserve the marine turtle, specifically the leatherback, hawks hill and the olive ridley. So over these you can understand these turtle are found over here and they make a very rare species. This island is home to Unge Aboriginal tribe who are called the island Igubillong and has been tribal reserve since 1957. So who are the tribal people who reside in Little Andaman? They are the Unge tribe. Just remember, the Unge tribal people inhabit the little island. It is famous by the name of its main village and the largest settlement, Hood Bay, where the Hood Bay jetty is the only harbour for ships, boats coming from the island from the capital town city of Port Blair. So basically from Port Blair to Little Andaman, how you will reach? You will reach through the Hood Bay jetty. So this is the place where you will reach. So these are little bit of information. So what you have to get from here is first of all that it lies, the Little Andaman, it lies north or south. So it lies south to the Port Blair. So this is its geographical location, south of Port Blair. Then it is, what kind of vegetation is mostly found over here is of rainforest type. Then it is also home for rare turtle, rare marine turtle species. And what kind of people, which tribe inhabit this area? It is the Unge tribe. So these are certain information you should definitely know. Now let's move forward, come back to the topic and see what is the proposal which has been proposed by the NITI Aayog. So the Sustainable Development of Little Andaman Island Vision Document. So this is the name, Sustainable Development of Little Andaman Island Vision Document, which has been proposed by the NITI Aayog to leverage the strategic location and natural resources of the island. So natural features are there. It is an island and it is strategically located in the Indian Ocean. So in that regard, the NITI Aayog has actually proposed a sustainable development plan. So the vision says will be done by building a new greenfield coastal city here. So this is going to be a greenfield project, which means it is going to start a new project altogether that will be developed as a free trade zone and will compete with Singapore and the Hong Kong. So we already know the port city of Singapore and Hong Kong has got a lot of traction because of the trade, the waterways trade, and in that regard the Little Andaman, because of its strategic location, could also become a free trade zone. The proposal is pivoted along three development anchors and zones. Basically, it talks about like three zones would be there. So, zone 1, it will spread along the east coast of Little Andaman and will be the financial district and Medicity, and will include an Aero City and tourism and hospital district. So, zone 1 would be like the most of a financial center. Then in zone 2, spread over the forest and called the laser zone, will have a film city, a residential district, and a tourism, basically the special economic zone. So in zone 2, you will see it is mostly for the laser purposes, like the tourism and all these things will be catered to in zone 2. Then finally in zone 3, it will spread out again on forest as well as on the nature zone, further categorized into three districts: an exclusive forest resort, a nature heading district, and a nature retreat, all on the western coast. So on the western coast will be the zone 3, on the eastern coast will be the zone 1. So this is how the demarcation would be. So from the proposal you can see that it is basically overhauling the whole development, mostly along the line of Singapore and the Hong Kong. So from that perspective you can see this is more for the development of the area. Now let's just quickly see what are the challenges, like why this development project is not going to be very straightforward, and there are certain factors which could impede it to become the new Singapore. So this is something which the document itself, the document which has been given by the NITI Aayog itself defined. So it is like lack of good connectivity with Indian mainland and global cities. So there is no airport. And there is only, we just discussed in the first slide that there is only Hudbay jetty through which there is like the boat from the Port Blair could reach this island. So this island is very much isolated and not connected. A fragile biodiversity and natural ecosystem. So we just discussed that most of the land in the little island is actually under the vegetation cover, and a very rare kind of biodiversity is also present over here. So again it becomes very fragile ecosystem. Certain Supreme Court notification that pose an impediment to the development. So there are rules by the Supreme Court which talk about how the development should happen in the forest reserved area. So again those kind of judgment will become will make it difficult for the NITI Aayog to go ahead with such a ambitious plan. Presence of indigenous tribe and concern for their welfare. So we just discussed that Unge tribes live over here, and again portion of this island is also reserved as tribal reserved forest. So in that regard, how they could be relocated, what kind of things could be given to them, their welfare, their concern also become a major point of concern. 95% of Little Andaman is covered in forest. A large part of it is pristine evergreen type. We saw it is a rainforest type of vegetation. More than 600 square kilometer of the island is reserve forest under the Indian Forest Act. More than 500 square kilometer island is protected as the Unge Tribal Reserve, creating a unique and rare socio-ecological historical complex of high importance. Basically, there are rights of animals, there are vegetation, the forest cover is there, and there is also the rights of tribal people. And in fact, these are the reason why it has raised an alarm amongst the conservationists and the environmentalists that this plan is not very thought through, and it could mean a lot of biodiversity lost and environment lost at the cost of the development. So these are the major criticism. Let's just quickly see. So the vision document has maps with no legend or explanation and uses inappropriate photographs plagiarized from the internet. So this is something again which has been highlighted by the expert, that this document is not well researched. So that is one thing, document not well researched itself. Another thing which is associated with is that this document has not gone through any process related to EIA, which is Environment Impact Assessment. Like once this kind of development project go through, what could be the EIA on the ecosystem has not been conducted. It talks of conservation of National Park and Wildlife Sanctuary on Little Andaman when none exist here, and it has no mention of the geological vulnerability of the place, which was amongst the worst affected in the earthquake tsunami combination in 2004. Now, this is also an important point to be considered, that this point was one which was severely affected during the tsunami of 2004, which means geologically it could be come under the vulnerability risk map. So such kind of analysis is also absent from this particular document. The nature resort is planned on one of the most important nesting site of the globally endangered giant leatherback sea turtle. So again, the endangered giant leatherback sea turtle, where they nest at that place, they are the document talk about making of a nature resort, which kind of defeat the whole purpose. So that is the these are the major criticism which has been floated once the document has been come into picture. So from your UPSC perspective, what you have to look into, first of all, the understanding of the Little Andaman is required, the geographical location, the various vegetation, the tribe which is present over there. Also, this giant leatherback turtle is globally endangered. Such kind of information from your prelims point of view. From your mains point of view, the whole idea of how the environmental development, environment and development should not be at like one at the cost of other, but should be an harmonious mix should come into picture. But at the same time, don't forget that India do need a port city where which could develop to a place of Singapore and Hong Kong. So try to balance it out on those lines. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to drop a comment. Thank you.